Welcome, people. Are you rushing to commitment? Well, let's just be honest. Most of us, when we're dating, we're bringing up the word commitment. And as ladies, there's nothing wrong with wanting a commitment. In fact, if you're dating, the whole point of dating is to make sure that you are dating somebody who your values and your lifestyle aligns with. So, before you bring up commitment, though, you should be sure that they are the type of person, the type of man, the type of mate that you want to really spend a life with. And so, I'm going to break down these 10 things that you need to be talking about to make sure that you are not rushing into commitment with the man that you should not be committing to. So, number one, purpose. Talk about it. Because here's the thing, you know that you're called to be his help. Again, this channel is for women who are serious about living life the king's way. So if you're called to help him, how can you help him with his purpose if you don't have a clue what it is? How does he know that you're the best fit for him? And how do you know that you're the best fit for him if neither one of you are clear about what his purpose is? And again, as I said before, he may not know it, and that's not your fault. But at the same time, you're committing to spend a lifetime with him. So before you do that, you need to know what it is that he truly is supposed to be doing with his life. Number two, values. I know you're saying, well, purpose and values, they go hand in hand. They're kind of the same thing, aren't they? Well, actually, they do go hand in hand, but they are not the same things. What is his value system? What does he value? Do you know what types of things he values? Does he value God? Does he value his body? Does he value spending time with his friends? Whatever he values, those are the types of things, types of places he's going to be interested in continuing being and going. So you need to know his values and he needs to know yours because, again, our values anchor us. They are part of the reason, a huge part of the reason why we do the things we do, why we act the way we act, why we think the way we think, why we hang out with the people we hang out with, and the list goes on and on. Our values truly anchor us in our decision making process. So you need to know what type of values he has because if you all don't value the same thing, how are y'all going to be successful and happy in marriage? Think about that. Number three, expectations. Expectations and values are not the same. Again, similar but not the same. So, what are you expecting from him? Okay, now we would like to think or say that we don't have high expectations of people. But if we just be honest, we have high expectations of people. Okay, they don't know it sometimes, but we are holding them to a high standard. And there's nothing wrong with having high standards. You know, I preach and teach high standards, and you should have them. But at the same time, you need to make that clear to him. Because if he doesn't have the same expectations that you have in this relationship, you're trying to commit or you rush into a commitment with a man that you are never going to see eye to eye with because you all don't have the same expectations in this relationship. Number four, needs. Okay, what do you need from him to feel valued, to feel appreciated, to feel respected, to feel like this is a person that you can truly see yourself spending a lifetime with? I'm not going to go on and on about needs because you should know yourself and you should know the types of things you need. But at the same time, don't just assume that he has the same needs that you have because he could need something completely different from you to feel loved, appreciated, valued, and respected. Y'all need to be talking about what you all need from one another. The same thing goes for number five, wants. Okay, you know what a want is. You know, something that you want, but you don't have to have it. You could live without it. It's not going to kill you to not have it, to not get it, okay? But you do want it. Talk about it. Because, again, if you cannot get any of the things you want from him, that may be a deal breaker for you. But if you're not talking about it, you won't know. Same thing for him on his side. Both of you need to be talking about the type of things that you want from your spouse. Because, again, our wants make up part of who we are and what we like. And let's just be honest, nobody wants to be with someone who never wants to do anything that they want to do. Number 6, plans. Okay? Mary J. Blige said, I see the future. Okay? What do you see in your future? And a big thing here is travel. Okay? A lot of times we're rushing into relationships, we're rushing into commitments with people, and we're not talking about the future. We're not talking about plans for the future. And a big part of that is traveling. Some people's jobs require them to travel. Some people simply like traveling just because that's what they like to do. Now, if you're a homebody and this man loves to travel, that could present a problem for the both of you. You're wanting him to stay home, and he's saying, no, I'm not staying home. I'm going out. Okay, so talk about expectations there as it relates to planning for traveling. Okay, even with working. Okay, if you like to work long hours or he likes to work long hours, that's something that you all need to be addressing in your all's plans, because again, you're planning on spending a lifetime if you're planning to have a commitment. Number 7 is a big one. Kids. Oh yes, kids have been, at the center of many breakups, many arguments, many disputes. Sometimes it ends in court. Sometimes people end up in jail. Kids cause some issues, okay? And they cause issues a lot of times because people have different ideas on kids. They have different ideas on how to raise them. They have different ideas on how to discipline them, which is number 8. And I'll get in that in a minute. They have different ideas on how many they want. They have different ideas on what will happen if we cannot have kids of our own. Some people would prefer to adopt if they can't have kids on their own. For some people, they would prefer to foster. It really just depends. Where is your mindset here? There's no right or wrong. I mean, some people don't want kids at all. Some people want kids right away. Some people are like, hey, now, let's wait a minute. Pump your brakes a minute. Let me get to know you first, okay? Again, kids, address it. And as I said, number 8, discipline. Listen, your kids will not be with you 24/7. Even if you homeschool them, eventually at some point, somebody else is going to be around your kids. And that's why I did not put 7 and 8 together. Because you may have a way that you prefer to discipline your kids. But what happens when they are around other people? Now, if you say, hey, spare the rod and spoil the child, you may prefer or you may agree to allow other people to discipline your children the way that you do, okay? For some people, you know your mama had that belt and she tore you up with that belt. For some people, that's a no-no. Oh, no, you're not about to hit their child with a belt. Oh, what? Oh, absolutely not. For some people, they say time out. That's it. That's all you can do to their kids. So what is going to be your rules and regulations for when your children are not with you? Are you going to allow other people to discipline them? If so, in what way will that be acceptable for you? And you need to talk about that with your spouse because, again, you don't know how he was raised. So in his household, things could have been very different from the way they were in your household. You're 2 different people coming together and you're going to have different ideas and thoughts. Talk about it. And for the last one, number 9, family. And then our last one is friends. So for family, those in-laws, baby, they have caused quite a few problems too. They have caused quite a few problems. Why? Because people do not understand or have this word in place. Here it is. Boundaries. Yes, some people have no boundaries. Okay, and sometimes we cause the issue ourselves because something happens in our relationship. And what do? What do? Let's tell the truth here. We go run and tell somebody. Go tell somebody in our family instead of trying to sort it out on our own within our relationship And now the family is involved giving their 2 cents. Yeah, they giving their 2 cents because you invited them. So now they telling you what they think, telling your spouse what they think. And that's a problem because now you have outside voices at the center of your relationship, trying to dictate what they believe and what they feel should be happening and what you should be tolerating and accepting. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Sometimes you're going to need outside counsel. But again, you need to have some boundaries in place for what is and is not going to be allowed to happen with your friends, with your family. Same thing goes for friends on both sides. You all need to be talking about this. I'm not saying that you all have to have the same friends when you come together. Excuse me. Naturally, you're going to have different friends. You're going to like different things still. You're still two different people. And there's nothing wrong with that. But get some sense and some clarity about what their expectations are of their friends. Because a person's friends can tell you a lot about them. Okay, now, if a person is your friend, that means that y'all share some commonalities. So you need to be paying attention to the type of commonalities that this man has with his friends. That will tell you what he sees as valuable in a friend. And trust me, at the beginning of all relationships, the best thing you can be is a friend. Don't skip it. Now, if you were not able to identify the makings of the man you were with and understand his purpose, you should have recognized you two weren't ready to become one. As always, I'm Coach Sam telling you, 24 hours doesn't seem long, but in 24 hours, you could change your life. So go ahead and do something life-changing now.